Good day, poker peeps. Sky with Smart Poker Study. Now, they don't want me to tell you what I'm about to tell you, but please listen, take some notes as I tell you what I'm about to tell you. Here is the surefire way to improve your poker skills and get you to where you want to go on your poker journey. Gambate!
Certainly.
So that thing that they don't want me to tell you is a surefire way to get you where you want to go on your poker journey. And that thing is to follow Larry. Learn, apply, review, repeat, and then you are on your way. First off, when it comes to learning, you need to determine what you need to learn that's going to help you on your journey. First, I would recommend using the Focusing Quesiton from the One Thing book, one of my favorite books. What's the one thing I can learn such that by learning it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? If that thing is open raising, if it's 3-bet stealing, if it's donk betting, if it's check raising flops, if it's folding on the river, that one thing that you believe will propel you on your journey more than any other thing right now, that's what you want to focus on. If you don't know the answer to that question, you could also find a leak to plug, look at your database, look at the different situations where you're losing money continuously, or maybe even work on a tough spot, something that you just find difficult when your opponent does it against you. When you figure out that thing, search the interwebs for something to study. So for example, maybe facing donk bets poker is that thing that you want to work on. You've faced too many donk bets, you don't know how to respond. You don't even know what to make of those donk bets, so you don't know should you fold, call, or raise. Not really sure. So we type that into the Google right here. We get some information from Upswing Poker dealing with donk bets. Beat any donk bet like a poker pro. Awesome. Practical tips for dealing with donk bets. The art of donk betting if you want to learn how to donk bet. Some good videos right there. Probably down below. We got some articles about facing donk bets and everything. So a lot of different things that you can learn to help you deal with that troublesome spot. Next, study it and take notes. So if it's an article, read it. If it's a video, watch it. If it's a podcast, listen to it. Have your poker journal out with you to take notes, because the key thing about taking notes is that's how you take your studies with you into the future. You can refresh those notes prior to a session. If you're playing online, you can look at your notes mid-session. You face a donk bet, look down at your notes right there, boom, you know what to do. Or maybe you don't know what to do, but you have a better idea of how to approach that donk bet right now. Last off, after studying or at the end of your study session, figure out how to practice what you learned. So if it is facing donk bets, how are you going to practice that? You don't have control over what your opponents do, so what can you do to put yourself in spots when you're facing donk bets? So that takes us to applying what you learned. So now it's time for you to apply or practice what you learned. The key aspect to this is you put yourself in situations where you can practice what you learned. If it's facing donk bets, is that thing that you want to get better at? Well, like I said before, you can't control whether or not they donk bet, but you can put yourself in situations where you're the pre-flop raiser in position, so maybe open raising out of the MP, the cutoff, or definitely the button, and one of the blinds defends. That's the most common situation. You're the open raiser, they call out a position, boom, potential donk betting spot. You put yourself in as many open raising and late position spots as possible, targeting those big blind players, and eventually every single session you will encounter at least one donk bet for you to practice on. And noodle on it when you're not involved. So you don't want to be, distracted by Twitter or email or YouTube or something. When you are playing, you're playing 2, 3, 4 tables, whatever it is, you're paying attention to the action. You folded your hand, but somebody opened on the button. The big blind called. The flop comes out, the big blind donk bets. Boom! Noodle on it. Okay, what does his donk bet mean? Look at your notes. Oh, his bet size probably means weakness. If I was the open raiser, how would I respond right now? I would bluff raise him. I would call with a top pair hand. Whatever that idea might be, the fact that you're noodling on it, that is almost as good as actually getting in that situation and facing the donk bet yourself. Now, after you play your session of poker where you applied what you learned, and let me just tell you, it's probably going to take more than just one session of play to really understand and to use a strategy to its fullest to where you can ingrain it into your unconscious competence. That actually might take a really long time, but you need to put in that time on the felt practicing those strategies. afterwards, at least after your first session, you could do a review session. Find hands in your database and review with the strategies that you learned in mind. So when it comes to facing donk bets, you simply run some kind of a filter, whatever it is, you can figure it out for whatever situation you're working on. But opportunities on the flop opportunities, you scroll down, boom, raise donk bet opportunity. If you have the opportunity to raise a donk bet, that means you were the pre-flop raiser facing a donk bet. Right here, here's one hand, ace-6 offsuit. If I looked at my entire month or the year, there would be dozens of hands to go through, right? But that's what you want to do. Review these hands, the prior hands that you played with your new strategies in mind. Did you respond to this donk bet accurately? What does this donk bet mean versus this other donk bet? What about that board? What does his donk bet say about his potential hand, right? So study all these hands, review a ton of hands over and over again. Not the same hands necessarily, but just different hands, 20, 30 hands per review session with your strategies in mind. And take note in your poker journal of any mistakes that you made. And then now you're going to repeat this process of learn, apply, and review over and over again, whether it's with the same strategy or a brand new strategy that you want to work on. Let's imagine you watched this video, you played a few sessions, you studied a few sessions, but you still feel that you need some work in dealing with donk bets. Run the searcher again, read a different article, watch a different video, listen to a different podcast, and then of course, apply those things that you learned from it, and then review some more hands. Repeat this over and over again, and ultimately, you are on your way at this point. Improvement is guaranteed. Your graph might look something like this. You got some good ups, and then of course, there's going to be some downs. There's always the downs that come with the ups in poker, but if you follow Larry, there's going to be more ups than there will be downs as well. And one thing I want to leave you with is that this is a very simple process following Larry. Learn, apply, review, repeat, you're on your way. But it is not easy to do. It's very difficult to lose your way, to stop studying, to stop trying to learn new things at all. It's critical that you just continue with this process. Follow Larry for the rest of your poker journey. He will get you to where you want to go. Simple, difficult, yet effective. Before we get to now, it's time for you to take action. First off, please like the video if you like the video, subscribe for more, and I love comments down below. Now it's time for you to follow Larry for the win. Get to this process of learning, applying, reviewing, repeating, and you are going to be on your way to where you want to go on your poker journey. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.